We don't know yet. We got the city in here. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 from the townships. We'll have to look at.
That's it?
I think the city said they had 7 when we were over there this morning, but I don't know, if they had anything else coming in.
Yeah.
What did I say, Dave? 10, 15? What did I say earlier when you asked me how many? I think maybe I said 12, 12 again, something like
Or did we have a pool going, or?
No, we didn't have a pool going.
that. Time for that.
Well, I bagged 3 bags of leaves this morning.
You could come to my house and done that.
Oh,
So they wouldn't blow away or what?
So I don't have to hire anybody to do it.
Why'd you put them in bags? I mean,
Well, because they blow away. And then I'd be raking them 3 times.
plus they hit your
maybe
neighbors.
they blow in the neighbor's yard though.
Plus, my neighbors are better than I am.
All my neighbors come under mine.
They got the first leaf pickup.
Yeah, and now we're taking
Yeah,
this
we-
week off.
Yeah, we had leaves galore, and then we had somebody come and clean them up, and then I looked out in the backyard and I said, Lily, I'm like, why did we bother doing that? Because there's more leaves now in the backyard than there was when the guy came.
The city is put off for 1 week before they're gonna start again.
Start again, yeah. It's 1:02. I think we'll go
Okay.
ahead and get started.
Yep.
We've got a quorum here, so I will call the meeting of Midland County Board of Canvassers to order. My name is Scott Haynes, Chairman of the Board of Canvassers. David Broush of the Republican Party, David Broush of the Democratic Party, Dennis Sterner of the Republican Party. We're expecting, I think, Steve Durantz of the Vice Chair of the Democratic Party. Our first order of business today is to approve the minutes from our last meeting of November 7th. They were emailed out, you also have them in front of you. I would entertain a motion to either, if there's any amendments, or to approve.
You could feel entertained, yes.
All right. We have a motion to approve,
Second.
support by Dennis Sterner. All those in favor signify
Dan.
by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. So at this point, we will go ahead and accept or review and accept the moved ballots that we have received, and carried ballots since November 5th. And I'll be honest, this is my first time doing this. I was not able to be at the August meeting when we had those, so it's also gonna be a little bit of a learning process for me today, so it's a good way to do that. So with that, Anna, I'll let you take over.
Okay, so you'll see we have a couple different pieces of equipment in the room today. We have our tabulator, which in a few minutes I'm gonna have you guys get up and go over and make sure that we're at zeros and all that good stuff. But we also have one of our VAT machines, because as I'm not sure if you know the process for military and overseas ballots, but the majority of them are actually emailed to the individuals. The individuals then print off the email, and then they fill out the paperwork, they sign it, they send it back with their email copy of the ballot. So it's not an actual unofficial ballot stock. So we have the VAT here so that we can print a blank ballot that you guys, because you're the only teamed up, you guys will do a check, and so Dennis will read and Dave will fill in the circles, or vice versa. It doesn't matter to me how you do it. But we're gonna start with the township ballots, and so these have been all verified, signature verifications by the township clerk, which is required under law, before they were brought to us this morning. We have 3 ballots from Larkin and 1 from Homer. The 1 ballot from Larkin was a signature cure, so this we will not have to duplicate because it's on a regular ballot. They just had forgotten to sign their outside of their envelope. Okay, so we'll process this one when we get ready to process all the rest. But what we have done is I had John go on the qualified voter file, look the voters up, and write down what ballot style they have, so that we have the right ballot style for each individual voter, and the city has done the same, so when we get to the city ones, you'll see that as well. So I'm gonna hand these to John just for him to get these numbers so he can print these ballots off, and we'll start the process.
So that thing's smart enough to, it knows all the different ballots in
So-
the county?
Yeah, so this machine is programmed for every single ballot style, all 130 of them in Midland County. If you want, you can come up here, we just set it up because we didn't know where to really put it, but if you want, you can come up here and John will show you, how this works, because this is just like early voting, okay? It's the exact same thing that we did at early voting. The workers have a card, and I'll invite the public if you wanna come up and see this, so that in case you did not, have an opportunity to see early voting, you can see how this works, okay? But this is our voter assist terminal, and the precinct inspectors have a card, that, basically tells the machine it's time to go to work, so to speak. And so if you went into early voting, a worker went with you to one of these machines, put the card in, and then at some point in time, it's gonna ask John for a code, okay? And in this case, this one is 1146.
Should be Larkin 1A, that's gonna work.
Yep, and so when he pulls it up, you're gonna see that the ballot says Larkin, I can't see it, but I'm assuming it says Larkin 1A. So we're gonna go ahead and print that ballot, because that's gonna go with this particular, voter. Oh, Steve is here.
Yep.
And then we will go on to our next one when he's done there. So Steve, what we're doing is because military and overseas voters get an email ballot, they don't get an actual ballot sent to them because the time to turn it around in the mail, is nearly impossible. So they have a different process that they do where they send the information back to the clerk. There's a form they have to fill out, they have to sign it. The clerk has already recorded, and made sure that that is the person. And so what we're doing right now is we're printing blank ballots, that you guys are going to duplicate with the information that's in the envelope. So the next one, John, is gonna be, a Larkin 2C. Oh, Larkin 2.
Well, you're welcome to see,
Oh, there we go, 1148.
my ellipses or parens are, okay, 48 should be Larkin 2.
Yep.
And that's the code number for the county.
That's the code number for that individual for their ballot style. So you missed the part where we looked these up this morning for the townships that brought theirs into us, and we got their ballot ID number, so that we can print the, ballot out of the voter assist terminal. The city has already done that, the ones in the blue bag are the cities, and we'll do the same thing with them. And you'll be given, I'm not going to give you the envelopes, I'm going to give you just the ballot, because we are protecting voter identity, so we don't want people to know whose of these have been returned, so, I will give you those and.
How many ballots did you get back?
We have 3 for the townships that we have to, do, and I think might have 7 for the city, but we haven't opened that bag yet.
Okay.
So this one is a 2A.
Homer.
Over 1126. But you'll do one person will read, the other person will fill in the bubbles, okay? And then, once we're done with these 3, then we'll do the city. And then we'll run the tabulator, and then before we do that though, I'll show you the zero tape and we'll go through that process as well. But as I said, these have all been vetted by the township to make sure that they are the person that filled it out, the signatures match before they came to us, so.
Do they electronically sign it? Like,
No, they have to print out, there's instructions, and they have to print those out, and they have to sign them, they have to put them on the outside of the envelope, in a separate envelope, and then the ballot is in another envelope, so.
They have to physically mail us.
so they do mail something,
Yes.
mail the
Yeah,
signatures?
100%.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, Michigan
Email
is not,
out, mail back.
yeah,
Okay.
Michigan is not to the
Yeah.
point where, we can accept email, ballots, so.
So
this
this
is a
just
hard-
saves time of mailing them a physical ballot.
Well, a lot of times it's very difficult to mail things places and get there. I mean, we only have 45-day window from the time that we get the ballots in-house to the time the election happens, right? So we don't have time to, mail sometimes to, Venezuela or whatever. I mean, just pick the country, but I mean, it's Dennis and Dave, we're gonna get you your first ballot. You wanna mark, do you wanna read?
For lunch.
Done.
Might be a little aromatic
But,
to that.
One of them, see the last one.
Make sure you guys match up the right balance.
That's why I was trying to figure out how to do it.
They heard that.
Fill it in.
That's largest township precinct one. Largest township precinct one.
Here you go.
They say, okay, cool, and then they print off the ballot for this precinct, say, and then if you and I go do it, then we run through the
Yeah, and you're just making this is gonna be an easy one.
So we're okay with Larkin precinct 2, right?
Yes, that's what they just did up there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
Just.
Democratic Party.
Yep.
We have
Kimberly and Tom.
Kimberly Ann Thomas, filling that in. What's the other one?
Next one's, Kyra Harris.
Back.
Okay.
Or the,
Valentino.
yes.
Okay, so let's put this here.
The other one is,
So this is,
wow.
Yeah. So now, what is the processing?
so, yep, I keep all this, it all gets cut and we have to seal it all at the end, all these pieces and parts. If you want, you can go ahead and cut open the cities. Let's see if we got one on there, cause I'm assuming that we'll have ones that we'll have to duplicate from them as well.
106, 251.
Kamala Harris.
Those are slot two.
And there might be some signature cures in there, so that's what we'll have to look and see as well.
Rio Lopez.
Yeah.
And all the way down to the top.
Two signature cures, so we're just gonna set those aside, and the rest are all ones that we're gonna have to.
So now I'll have to go back.
You wanna
up.
get,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
giving
gonna
those to.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, so that we don't know the name.
Yeah, exactly, so.
That's it?
Dawson Thomas.
Alright.
No, it must not be, it must have been just a military overseas that came back, that they sent the regular guy.
Okay.
Okay, so, we have. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Looking like we got a little list there.
Okay,
First one?
so, ballot 11,
I'll tell you, you don't tell me what you
yeah, but. Oh, we have to figure out.
So the first one is,
Yes.
Yeah, 11 on that.
All right.
I gotta know which is which. what I told him.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, she's
Big book,
stuff.
like 400 pages or
So
something like that.
basically it just says, you know, one city, one for the absentee board, and one on. Everybody except everybody. Well, actually, there's one other.
Alright,
Board has an absentee voting board as well. So I don't know if those, which precinct they were from. So these two are non-precinct specific. They must have.
Yes.
See, Marbury at least split theirs out. So I can tell which votes came from which parts of the board. I guess I don't know what the other I'll just stick in here. Public meeting, you can't hear them talking.
Michigan State, Fremont, so you need to. Wayne State. Alright, what do we got? Whatever it is. We're marching. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. 2000. Okay, Justice Supreme Court, Cairo, Jersey. Next one's Steve.
Number of state board reps.
Angela Cole.
Have you seen the map for the 6 counties?
Stacey Gann. Now, Mayor, City Council, the virtual meeting,
Sunny.
mosquito abatement, yes.
Prosecuting attorney J.D. Brooks.
Sorry, we're back. So when we process, it, we can do the city and the county all.
Yep.
everything all at once.
Yep, everything all at once.
And then straight money, that they voted was, yeah. Let's just make sure that we're on the process. So you're gonna,
We have to do the same
that's
thing.
true, that's true. Screw it up, screw it up. Okay, Harris, Slotkin.
Andrew Fink, judicial.
Yes.
Supreme Court, Andrew
And,
Fink.
Board of Education, Jones.
Supreme Court, Patrick O'Grady.
Okay, old scribbler.
One by 242.
I'm sorry.
Now she's got 240.
Okay, judicial, superintendent, superintendent's office.
There's a prescription for
Tyler Harris.
if you wanted to travel.
Steve
See if they
Burrell.
fix the numbers.
Skip the next one. Angela Cole. Did that? Oh. Angela Cole. And that is all.
So we're gonna have to run that.
Yes, yes.
Mosquito control.
Well,
And you're keeping these?
yep, I will be right back to get it in 1 second.
Okay, here's another one, just like the other.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a space for you.
356, 6, 3,
State Board of Education is just Theodore Jones.
Just Jones alone. Alright,
And that's a good one.
just one.
Yeah.
This is better, maybe right here.
Rebecca, great, Crystal McDowell, right. And Stacy's just Russia.
Okay.
Madam Clerk, Prosecutor
Yes.
Judy Burks.
If you know it's gonna
Yeah.
cause an overload, it doesn't matter, you still have to mark it.
Oh, wait.
Okay, all right, yeah,
Oh,
that
that's
makes sense.
good.
Okay. Remember-
Was that your question?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
They had one over here too, I heard them.
Okay, so we're gonna make this one
Straight Democrat, but yeah.
Now they're
Yeah.
voting Republican.
Yep, they can do that. So it's.
Oh, this
so-
overrides.
So yes, the bubble that they've selected for whoever overrides the
Yeah.
Democratic Party.
Alright, so.
Where are you at?
JD.
JD.
11,
Scott, what's in your-
Scott.
7A.
Agent for the university.
And Kathy.
Yeah,
Jen. Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mickelson.
Trustee, yeah, Michigan State. That's how you stop it.
Okay. And of course, judicial. Andrew Fick.
Got one.
They are ready.
none of before that, it's all. Okay, so just Supreme Court.
Maybe you need to go back and educate the public better, so they understand the hours. Because basically what they did is they said you have option A, you have option B, and then you have B plus. And B is like, you can say, it looks like they will do, carpet on one side. And if you want to put on it, then you have to take all of this. And all of that is too big, so they're like, well, then we'll go back to this one. They said, we can take B, we can pick and choose which of this we wanna do. Then it would have been less than.
Theoretically, we were supposed to trace all of the trade balance.
I mean, if we're gonna things, we either get A, B, or B.
So what? Oh,
So they did a terrible job selling it. I feel like it was a big switch intentionally, so we're taking all the now, very obvious.
Or they're just expats, or could be.
they could be anybody.
Military or expats.
No vote for prosecutor.
Could be in the state department too.
So then we'll tap you.
Military, spouses of military, or people that just simply live overseas.
Just what?
People who live overseas.
Yeah, expats.
Or just
I
anybody,
mean, if you wanna label them.
Official.
they're not expats,
Kimberly
they're
Thomas.
people living over there.
Why do they call them that?
No, but that's what they do, that's what they are.
Well, you don't, wouldn't call it state, first or state.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
Somebody just
Yeah.
moved over there.
Well, they call them
living
expats.
in the state.
It's like they're historical patriots, but then a lot of these people are citizens, and some of them reflect to their country. So,
It was like, well, there were, this is our fault, there were about 8 people assigned to this. And it was all, you get there, it's just hard. It's just a trade thing.
I never did.
But I did. That got into the system that they sending these things out. Why would you say this?
We've done it here. Every week.
They have room to drop.
Figure it out.
And yeah,
All your, well, most of the stuff that you get to mail.
Do you have a key? Alright, so next step in our process, gentlemen, we're gonna go over here to our tabulator.
Come on over here.
We're gonna go here to the tabulator, and
Maybe it just cost too much money for them.
yeah. Alright, so, if you want to, we're gonna review the tape. As you can see, all of your votes. Well, I'm trying to get to the top, so. now John's gonna open up the bin, so that you can verify that there are no ballots in the bin.
All the two of us is like over there. Okay, I said, he was like, most started this way. Okay.
Checking up in the right end bin, in the bottom?
No ballots in the bin. The bin, let's jump in there, Scott.
Yeah, really. Got it?
All good.
Did it go back up in there? The writing thing go back up in there?
Not yet, I'll get it.
Alright, we'll get the writing thing back up in there, John. And then we're gonna go ahead and fire it up so that
I
those.
forgot all this. Yeah.
It's all good. So John's gonna
Alright.
fire it up, so you'll be able to see that there are no ballots on the tabulator.
Zero.
So, Scott, reach behind you and grab those ballots.
How many we got? One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right. Let's see what you count. Every other thing. All right. I don't know which man. Just start with the
Yep, they go in any which way, it doesn't matter, any orientation.
Wait
Upside
till it
down.
says
Says
cast.
Yeah,
exactly,
make sure it
yeah.
says ballot cast.
Yep. Ballot successfully cast.
Good technique.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish, I wish we could. work with polls. I would do
Just
that.
not end it with that.
Well, true, yeah, yeah.
Sure it's a lot faster.
They improved on the technology a little bit since
Yeah.
2005.
I can remember going in with my parents and the curtain closed behind you.
Oh, yeah,
So,
the lever.
Yeah, you know.
I was supposed to pick one of those up from Aaron County. Just deciding if I want that in my voting equipment, memo.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
Sure.
This is the demo one. I do own Broward County voting. With the Chad still that.
Broward County. It's great county.
I finally had to get rid of all the first part stuff, because we didn't have that.
So we could duplicate these little touch stuff. How much fun would that be? Wow, no scripts, no.
How many?
14.
Got it. You boys wanted to see, right?
That's what we wanted to
That's the
see.
number.
All right,
her out.
ready?
It's like 5.
Third time's the charm.
Good to check.
I can hear it ticking.
There we go. It's either one or the other.
results come out.
Now, is this a composite result?
Yes.
Or just of the 14?
It's just it's just a 14.
14.
Okay.
Right.
And then, John will take the cards. Once this prints out, you guys check the write-in bin, make sure there's no write-ins in the write-in bin. John will take the cards and put them through the EMS, which then he'll print off a final cum for all of you. So we can do the final canvas for the state, because you should start seeing.
And I gotta go back in, put those numbers from the final cum into the state's website, produces the official canvas with the
See,
words.
now this
on
is
that.
going to print off
Send it
every
back to
single
you.
precinct.
Yeah, right.
in
So
the
we got
county. So
probably
it's gonna be like,
45 minutes to an hour before this is done.
not that long, it takes 25 minutes.
I'm a, I underestimate.
So, cause a lot of precincts, we only had,
Okay,
some
14,
city line-
right, yeah.
Then you feel better.
If I tell you 25 and it's 50.
Right.
It's not gonna change any results of it.
It's not, I mean, the results are gonna change,
I mean, it's not gonna make a difference.
but there's not gonna be, a
Right,
race is
right.
not gonna be won or lost
Yeah,
by those
yeah.
14
We're not
votes.
searching for something.
Verbiage, man, difficult. Surely there'll be somebody there, it most definitely will change the results. Okay, it's all about the vernacular.
Mhm.
Matters a
So
lot,
we'll change the results,
Absolutely.
but not the contest.
not the outcome.
Yeah.
What was our first precinct, John, had, was it precinct 5 in the city?
I don't know.
Well, the list is up there, that yellow sheet of paper.
The things I look at.
It's okay, yeah, right.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Looks like the lowest precinct on the results tape is gonna be precinct 5. So we have
We're
5,
seeing some.
Mm-hmm.
5, 6, 9, or 5, 6, 8, 9 for the city. And then you have the townships.
Yeah, you got 10 precincts in the city, and you got 24 in the county.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Lot fewer than.
So,
Yeah.
Johnny, if you want to, you can probably open up the bin and get the ballots out, make sure there's nothing in the write-in bin so that they can look at that.
Okay. These are the ones in the main bin? Yeah, let's check the write-in bin. Well, the cupboard is empty, fellas, so
All right.
all of them went in the main bin, no write-ins for the year. You guys can double check if you want.
We check in there, Scott. Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Man, we
Don't get
retain
your
this
hand
balance,
caught.
so we.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
That
get
would totally
retained
be
with
mine,
the
you know.
envelopes.
I can't get it out.
They're all gonna be sealed up in a bag, Johnny.
Okay.
We can use the city's bag, and we'll have them put a new seal on it. Do we have a seal out here? We might have to get one in the office.
I don't think I'd rather.
Yeah. When it comes to, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you trying to figure out how to get the write-in bin? There you go. I heard it click that time.
Well, if you're good, I'll go grab, a seal. That's it? So we need something?
Yeah, can we use that certificate?
The certificate, it's from the city to us, so I'm gonna grab it now.
Well, then go get another,
Yeah.
I got
grab
a
another
certificate.
certificate.
Got it.
Yeah, it's just sitting there down there.
You could throw it in the bag.
This size.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With that seal.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I didn't want to see?
How much tape was on there?
No, I already know we're gonna run out of tape,
Oh,
but
okay.
Take
I
three
think the
to do it.
results are at the very top of the freaking tape.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Are the results at the very top of this tape? Like they were in the other one?
The ballot style, how many ballot styles? That was it.
Okay.
You're talking about the first tape that comes out in the summer? Maybe.
I'm talking about like, cause when I did, when I was doing the early voting, I thought that the first thing that printed out was the total number of.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I don't know.
You know.
You could online the book.
I don't wanna.
But if you wait till the end, then you gotta win the whole thing.
I-
Well, it's 50-50, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'd wait at this point.
Yeah, about 50-50.
Yeah, we waited till 11:30 early voting and to see the tapes, and it was at the end, I believe.
Yep. It'll take two rolls.
Is that right?
So in early voting, did they run one of those things off every day?
No,
Just,
no, you don't get any results until after the polls close on election day. The tabulator, they suspend the tabulator every day, so people put ballots through all day long and it gets suspended. The next day they open it up, people put ballots through all day long and it gets suspended. You don't run any totals tapes until after the close of polls.
if there isn't any glitch in the whole process.
We don't give them the code until the last day.
I mean, that doesn't forget anything.
Well, you always got the ballots, you can run it back through.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a lot of fun, but I mean,
Yeah.
that's one thing about Michigan, you have paper, so. But yeah, they don't get the code until the last day, they have an envelope that gives them the code, so they can't accidentally do something. That's why John couldn't remember the code, cause he's got like 14 codes in his head, 'cause- Oh, we're on Greendale Township,
Okay.
making progress.
That's not your envelope?
The vast majority of political signs are now, and they always have some, you know, but that's it, vast majority.
City gives them 15 days, so. I don't know, the damn commissioners, they were putting them all over the place, it's like, you're not even a commissioner in this district.
Yeah.
Why, you know, literally, come on,
Yeah.
Mark, you're not a commissioner at your place of business, and you're just Todd Gambrell.
Yeah.
But whatever, I only had a few listing plans. Got the person who goes out from the Republican Party and puts the goddamn signs up every election. Whoever it was out at midnight, one of these years I'm gonna catch up.
So they put them across the street from the school.
They put them everywhere.
Everywhere.
That frickin'
They've been doing
city-
it for 50 years.
City Hall was peppered with them.
Oh, really?
At 1:00 in the morning. Every school had them all over the place. I'm like, you know, so there was an article in the paper this year. I thought, screw it, I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm done telling you. And there's only one party that does it. Cause I'm certain that the Democrats aren't putting up Trump signs. okay?
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah.
I had my first sign, my sign was stolen, I had like a lot and a half, so I got a big frontage at St. Mary's.
Yeah.
And I had one in front of my house, it had been there for a month, okay, no problem. And then the problem ended up getting another sign, so I put it down the day before the election, Monday night, I put it down kind of on the far end of my property. I got up the next morning, like 6:30, it was been gone.
Really?
And I'm like, if you took it to go put it somewhere else, okay, that's great.
Yeah, right.
If you took it and threw it in a ditch, I guess
Yeah.
I'm kind of pissed.
Yeah.
You
Okay?
didn't hang it on the outlaw, did you?
No, it was, I keep them off the outlaw,
Okay.
you know, so no, I have it on my
I know,
property. and-
That's the others.
But the one in front of my house was still there. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
They didn't wanna get that close to your house,
They
and
didn't
I
wanna
figured
get
you
that
had a
close,
big
yeah.
camera.
Yeah,
I'm one of
exactly.
these goofy old guys, I'm always looking out the
Yeah.
window, you know, so can't see it from the other end.
And I always take mine down on Halloween.
I did.
It's just
I-
like, you know
It's
what?
nonpartisan.
Yeah, well,
It's
right.
nonpartisan,
Exactly.
Halloween's nonpartisan, so we took our signs
Yep,
down
I've
too.
always taken mine
Cause we
down.
did like the little fire ring with the chairs out in the driveway
Oh,
and
okay.
stuff, and it was really
Yeah.
cool, and I said, it's
Yeah,
nonpartisan,
you know,
take them down.
Yeah. And actually, there were several in our neighborhood from both parties that took them down.
Yeah,
You know, I did notice that.
that's very cool.
It is really, when you know,
hope.
Oh.
Have hope, we're almost there.
So, yeah,
We got 6 more votes if you need it.
yeah.
I'm telling you, it'll take another roll.
Oh, yeah, I think it's, they told me it's 3.
I know, it's gotta be almost done.
Maybe we're halfway done, it's been 13 minutes.
And then,
Right.
that was like the power outage.
So you need
Oh, you
to,
got batteries.
I was just gonna say, are these battery
These
backup?
have,
Yeah.
these
so
have
does the
batteries.
tape need to run before the chip or whatever?
Yes, we can't take the ships out until after this is
Until
done.
after the run.
Yeah, because we have to power the system down. Because
Okay.
if you pull the chips out while this is on, it can, corrupt the data.
Yep. I thought.
We had a township do it, and we were so happy, the first year that he was the clerk.
You're getting pink.
Yeah, first year he was the clerk, he ripped them out with the machine still on, we thought, oh God, we're gonna feed 800 ballots.
Not we.
Yeah,
I always tell them, if you do this in class,
Yeah.
I tell them, I look right at them, say, if you do this, I will bring you coffee in the morning. This is not a John problem.
This is a job problem, we can fix the tape.
That's a them problem. You take, it says 3 times.
In your instruction book, do not take the
Grab,
cards out.
grab a roll from there, please, John.
3 times.
What are you drinking my water? What are you doing?
You gotta pull some of that off. too, you know that,
Not these.
right? Oh, you don't?
Trying to keep my Mexican breath under control.
I'm not.
Where'd you go, or did you make it?
That taste of
I don't know, I don't make it.
Yeah.
Taco Tuesday. Duke and Michigan.
I guess I was sent a text today of a new, Asian market going up next to Canova, where that resale shop was.
Oh, really?
Yep. It's called RUK Asian Market.
Yep, perfect.
It's right up in neighbor's home.
I did have one more line.
Told you.
I might grab a coffee real quick.
Jasper.
Closer.
When the commissioners, is that
January.
Oh, so township officials are gonna take it in.
November 20th, but this is the last year.
Oh.
And starting in 2025, they'll take office January 1st.
Okay.
We got some legislation passed to make it so everybody was, it's just a pain in the ass, you
Yeah.
know, with,
Well, you could have a recount, which, you know.
right, and, you know, some jurisdictions, they take a week and a half
Yeah. Right.
to canvass. Might not necessarily know.
Yeah.
I know I got the Stanford Village clerk, she's just all chomping at the bit, well, it says, our charter says I have to take office in 5 days, I said, oh, you need to wait till after we, finish the canvass.
Right, right.
And certify the elections, can't, I can swear you in before that happens.
Yeah.
Just like anybody else, I'll be there at 10 o'clock today. I'm like, well, that's great, but we're not here. So. Slow your roll there, girl.
Glad this isn't, Troy area. 2 weeks to do the canvas. Because I don't know if that's, because it takes that whole counterpart, they sit there and argue about all that.
Yeah, right. Probably a little bit of both. They do have a few more boxes.
There's mine has something precincts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they do a whole lot of arguing within.
What was that?
I think they do.
Oh.
I think they do a whole lot of arguing with one another.
But they got people to help them too, besides, it ain't just 4 people. It's,
Yeah.
you know,
Staff.
each one. Staff.
When do we get staff?
When do you get staff?
When we go on board and.
I don't know. I don't even have a budget for this. I mean, literally, I pay you out of my salary and wages budget.
Yeah.
Or it can't,
And
just
see-
doesn't have a budget.
The county passed a budget this year.
It was pretty much on
Yeah.
the same. I mean, it wasn't really any major changes. Oh, we're on Lockwood Precinct 1.
Is Midland
This last
the
election.
city after Largo?
No, city's already done.
We're already done, alright.
How did we figure last time that this was a lot faster than?
Yeah.
It is. It took 45 minutes for you guys to count 7 ballots, so it is a lot faster. Yeah. And it's a lot faster with the rest of the stuff that we have to do before you can leave, which is input all the data into the canvas for the state and print out the final cume. So, yeah, it is. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I promise. It's a lot faster.
This fast always?
Why is it mad?
I don't know.
Said battery.
You got to start it all over.
Oh, so did it come unplugged? It's plugged in. Wow. Oh.
Does that look right?
I heard it beeping, but I don't know. If it's beeping, but I don't think maybe it is.
Get that bad word of power outage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's plugged in. That outlet doesn't work? We'll have to move it over to the center of the thing. Will it keep printing?
Should,
What is that outlook? It's switched?
I don't know. I think I noticed that it was on battery power, but we had 63% power, yeah.
Try it right there on the floor.
That one, but I know that where I have this thing plugged in, the printer outlet works. Or else the printer won't work. Has no battery.
That has.
The battery, well, apparently we're running on battery, which I did not know.
I have to check it. Did you?
I should have said
You
something.
can't throw the guy a bone. Said, hey, this thing's almost dead.
Didn't know that, I don't know how to.
I've never killed one in the middle of the at the home finish line, so I'm hoping it takes up printing again, or we have to start over.
I might hurt you.
So much for enjoying that cup of coffee. I thought, you know,
Speaking of
we're
which-
just in Coastal right now.
Other coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want coffee?
Keurig. Yeah, turn on the Keurig, let it heat up.
Nap time.
Says my battery is too low to fire.
I don't know how to operate it.
It might have been better to charge.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw 14%.
I've never seen one shut down.
So it's got a lithium battery in it that recharges.
Got about 2 hour runtime to figure out what you're gonna do for 2 hours and 5 minutes later.
Come back in the spring.
Come back in the spring, is that what you said?
So that's when, you know, we
No,
get
it's-
the thunderstorms. Man, home generator.
There. And we percolating here shortly, you're welcome.
Appreciate it. Be nice, Kathy.
So, we gotta do pull the cards.
So what,
No.
you going on any,
I think I just need to look for it to charge the
We're
battery.
going to see the grandkids Thursday,
how far are they?
13 hours.
Right on my, Cleveland's my part of the spring.
Second,
Well,
from the
it
end.
could be the base.
Second.
When they moved it, the base,
Second.
it could be the base.
This is gonna be
My farthest.
So sometimes you know, it's like any computer, it's a two-part slot.
Monday, Thursday, back. Monday,
Sometimes when those guys move the part inside, it becomes disconnected. I'll go grab the.
But as long as we're willing, or as long as we're able, I should say, we're gonna do it.
You should do it. You do it in one drive, one day?
No, since I'll go from here to Hannibal, Missouri, and then it's about another 4 hours from there.
Grab the other base.
Coming home, I mean, I certainly have done it.
I think that's probably
We
what
were,
it is.
we were stopping in, Springfield,
Yep.
Illinois.
We've stopped there before.
The other one is like, what is it, Jacksonville?
We can please.
Jacksonville,
Jacksonville.
Illinois, we've stopped,
Yep.
it's better to
The
stop in
last time,
Springfield, but.
well, last time or time before, we tried to stop in Jacksonville, about 5 o'clock at night, every hotel in Jacksonville was full, on like a Thursday.
Is there like a community college or something?
I'm not sure, and I mean, they have like, we didn't go to every hotel, but I mean, the Best Western, the Hampton Inn, and, the Comfort Inn, they were all sold out.
The last few times, I think
So
the
we went
last
to
time, the
Springfield.
last 2 times, well, going out, coming back, and then coming back, the second to last time, we went through, Iowa.
Oh, okay.
And then just outside of Davenport, there's like a town where there's a casino and stuff like that. And, we stopped there right off the highway, and that was
Yeah.
pretty decent, but you go through Omaha and Lincoln, and
Yeah.
it kind of takes some time doing that.
Yeah.
Cause where's your?
Lawrence.
Yeah. In Lawrence?
Lawrence,
Yeah.
I've been on a football game in Lawrence once. Cause
We were at,
there's not much in Lawrence except the university.
Cause my boy was in Marysville.
Right.
North of
Yeah.
Manhattan. Yeah. It's kinda interesting, in the fall, in the fall, it's beautiful.
Right, yeah. Well, and Lawrence is a hill. You know, you think of Kansas, it's
Too much,
flat.
it's not really.
Oh, Lawrence has got a ton of hills. It's very hilly.
It's, Manhattan's like that too.
And the university is up basically on the hill. But, so,
With that 13-hour drive feels.
yeah.
I've done it before with the 5-hour energy drink and, you know, and took a crack at it.
Yeah.
That's a tough day.
Yeah, coffee though.
We were
But I just don't.
like,
I'm getting old. I don't have.
I didn't see a dark, I saw a medium.
Right, exactly.
So they went to Russia.
Well, and like this time, she was gonna call today, but Harvey's brother in Chicago.
Mhm.
So we may just stop and see them, spend the night with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that make it easy.
Yeah, yeah.
We'd take the kids, the grandkids to, Great Wolf Lodge.
So what's next?
In Brazil, memories of
Probably
that,
not gonna get to
okay, we do that in one day.
Yeah.
You know, you go up there.
Might still be busy.
Right, and that's what, you know, it's a.
A&Os and committees.
And,
Yeah.
it's, you know, especially when we do 36, there's no trucks that.
No, this will be a shorter.
It's only 65, but I don't know.
Executive meeting was
We've
interesting.
never gotten rolled over.
Yeah.
Well, just talking
So,
about.
yeah.
The only
Heard some
thing.
issues out of Sanford that I hadn't heard about. Well, I guess not, it's just, not just Sanford, but the real trail that have issues with building stuff.
I'm not gonna say there's a like, whatever. So we have to do it. And I read it too.
For the real town.
Alright guys, so all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swap out the entire head unit.
Yep.
For the other side.
In a murder.
I think that's better than pulling the chips out, I think it's probably the power supply and the base, these two get moved back. It's my guess, it's just a guess, I don't know. Oh yeah, that's preferable, we could do it either way.
That's a city thing.
I don't think they changed the calculator out for a different one.
I never heard of that. But I haven't been involved.
Everything there was?
Seventies, eighties,
Long time ago,
yeah.
not near the.
I know it's hard.
And plug this one in rather than just without a battery.
Well, the base doesn't carry the battery, the tabulator carries it.
Yeah.
But I think when it, because it wasn't charging the two outlets,
Right.
and I meant to look into that.
So,
Well,
now we're a week out from the election.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
But the second thing was, I don't think it's limited, I think it's insiders, that like I was telling you, work connection, just like the laptop, one part goes through all their different places. It's suspended. So when it comes to, when it things go slightly the problem, now if it doesn't work, again, have to change it out.
Data has an update that went negative. So,
But now it's charging me.
it's just cumulative. It rises, it never deletes.
Well, in this county, just now, 14, they're almost all down.
Yeah.
She said, are you not a?
Most, a lot of you have an absentee.
She said I should do nothing more than make my wife do it.
That was almost 50%.
I think we're in the city. We'll see.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Battery man, let's go with something.
No, it's, we're working,
They were going.
I'm trying to figure out why our registered voters is so important for the election. 1,200 people, qualified voter.
I don't think it was charging.
Benson does this for me.
Had nothing to do with
I
that.
pretty much will. After I'm dead, don't let me vote Democrat.
Yeah. No, it's, that was something we were working on. My own results. And I don't know why, because I don't recall that I voted before the election, or after the election. And they're all
So you
the
were-
same.
The court ordered to get it deleted, but she said she couldn't because it was.
Yeah, no, you were down,
It's a different issue.
I was leaving Thursday just like you.
I'm
I
very
had
happy
like
to.
19 days. I was down in Georgia.
No, it's just the reporting of
No, the Census Bureau, I read it, the Census Bureau, and I did, I worked with the
Yeah,
census.
okay, right.
I know how they registration goes. They said they had
Down in Georgia.
80,000 insurance. In Michigan, we had 16,000.
Yeah.
Did you read that?
We're just special.
Yeah, I mean, why not fix that?
That's down in Georgia. Hey, postcard. My brother, his youngest kid, I remember, his graduated from high school, even as his picture, this guy's really. Yeah. All right, sounds good.
Not sure, so we may end up having to do an answer, both chips out.
So I think what we should do is,
That's something.
pull the chips out, but have you do your upload first. And then bring the chips back to me and I'll print the tags.
Yeah.
Because then we can be working on,
Sure.
Very proud of our Buffalo Bills. I've got much, I grew up in Buffalo, but we have much family in Rochester too. Reese, is she like it?
Well.
if we gotta change out machines, we have to take the chips out.
What's she doing there?
So the machine's off, so we're gonna have to take the chips out anyway,
She's a grant,
so.
And we're like,
she works for a company that does grant writing.
But more likely than not.
And he's a principal of the elementary school.
Okay.
So they're settled.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not going back.
It's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty Midwest. It's, like, it's Buffalo and Rochester are closer in culture to the Midwest than they are to New York City. So people always call us New Yorkers,
So,
but we're not New Yorkers.
That's,
Yeah.
and I've gotten to know it, I like their market, they have a great city market.
Yeah,
I always wanna go there, I wanna go see it.
yeah,
So
there's
I
a,
like it.
I think it's Pittsburgh, just in the summer.
Oh, that's neat over there, we always make a trip there, see
Yeah.
the little river.
Outside,
Channel
yeah.
boats or.
Yeah, just great breweries and restaurants, and it's just really lively in the,
I like that place too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
yeah. Yeah, my son lived there for 3 years during COVID. He was a postdoc at University of Rochester.
That's where my son-in-law started his PhD.
Oh, okay.
Didn't finish it.
Okay. What field?
What was he, I don't know, philosophy.
Okay.
Under philosophy. He never
Okay.
finished.
Yeah.
Didn't finish it. He should have, he got his master's, they both got their masters at Michigan State, but they should have stayed right there.
Alright.
But
not powered up,
it just doesn't, it's just running on battery power.
Yeah.
So this would take chips 1 and 2 out of here. Basically the brain. Put them in there.
But before you take them, put them in there, you're gonna take them in there and upload them, right? So we can get that stuff going, cause you gotta print,
go with him, Scott?
Yep.
you gotta print a final cum.
We'll take that
Yeah,
down.
Dave, you can go with them if you
Yeah.
want.
Dave, can I go with?
So,
Well,
So you have to-
Good result.
Come on.
Looks good, looks good if there's a Democrat.
Well, Steve, come on over here.
You're the Republican.
Oh, Dave's coming, all right.
Yeah, upload data.
he's gonna upload the chips, and then he's gonna do his work while we're printing out the tape, cause I think we're gonna have to restart print.
Restart?
We had to switch out machines because that machine, for whatever reason, the batteries, the ion batteries, it's not taking the charge. And if it's not more than 10%, it won't print. So, they just went into the office to upload the data, so they're not gonna.
Are we getting a printout from that then, or is that just
No,
gonna be?
well, it will be a printout, yeah, it's gonna be a
Hopefully,
final
but
queue.
he's just making the cumulative totals.
Mhm.
Got it.
Yeah, and he's gotta upload the information to the state's website too.
Thank you.
So, what's going on in your life, Steve?
Nothing.
Going anywhere?
Still working for the time being.
Going anywhere warm in the next 2 months?
No. What about you?
No, we got family stuff. We got, not until January back. It's a different
I was
approach.
so, I went to college without praise.
14, that's good.
Yep, still got the 14 votes on it.
Yep.
These kids,
I just wanted to see, since we got the second opportunity.
Yeah.
To look to see if the totals come out first. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Remember what Ann was talking about?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that. Yes, no, city hall is the first one. So it starts right out second meeting. All right, well, we're up and rocking, it's running battery power.
Thank you.
My apologies, but I can't start the next half of it, so I'm gonna do that.
Are you starting from the beginning?
Yeah.
We starting all over again? No, just the tape. I mean,
Couldn't tell you.
depends on what you mean by like all over.
It's probably not
Are we starting the tape over?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not starting all over.
Well, semantics, man, semantics, starting to get my.
You feeling better already?
Hello, Commissioner, can I borrow your seat?
See, maybe we're in.
We're making it work over there. How are ya?
If you wanna sit in this chair for the rest of your life, I certainly don't want to.
And you're not going to?
That's
Congratulations.
in the side room.
Thank you.
They're in the side room there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Definitely more fun than what's going on over here.
Yeah.
Okay, John.
Second canvas.
Oh, my fun.
Hey, John, can you run the cumes now?
Yes, I'm going to, you did start.
How are you?
Did it start it over?
Yes, but
Yeah.
there are some positive things. It is now on power, so it has to be something with the power supply inside the box. I'll get with you.
Alright, no worries.
What did you say, this took about 20 minutes?
25.
We get paid by the hour, right?
Right. $50 an hour.
Yeah. Can we see this?
Absolutely.
Yeah. They got a seal?
I think you brought one.
Yeah, but you want to steal and stuff, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually did one with others.
You know what he did with it?
I don't. What do you do with it? Are all these and these, all these are going together in the bag?
Yes, all that goes in the bag, but I don't know what he had it in his hand.
Yeah,
He probably walked back in the, yeah, he probably walked back in the office. Oh, no,
they're up
here.
there.
Here we go.
Is this the original partial tape?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we have, he's printing the whole thing again, so I'm just gonna recycle that.
November 5th, right? 2024 jurisdiction. Maryland. Variance. And then we're gonna put on here, we wanna put move balance, is that what we wanna put?
Move/cure, because there's signature cure balance too in there.
golfed a couple times with my
Do you
son.
think about working towards something?
For, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Down in the basement with all the others.
Do we know when the state board canvassers is meeting?
You know, I don't. I think they're gonna, they should be meeting next week. 'Cause typically, the November election is normally certified by like the first week of December. So it should be next week, and I don't know if they'll break for Thanksgiving, or they'll be done by then, I'm not sure. But then we should know, when we'll have the special election for Revette's seat. Cause I thought it was gonna be an appointment, and I emailed my friend at the bureau, and I'm like, hey, just out of curiosity, if Revette was to win, you know, would this be an, she goes, no, the governor will call a special primary and general election. I'm thinking that she will call, maybe February and May.
Okay.
I'm hoping.
That would be, you know, I mean, a good representation then. for-
Yeah.
for-
'Cause she could
without-
call-
For just a short.
Yeah, cause she can call at any
Yeah.
time, so I'm hoping that that's what she does. But we'll see.
Yeah. If-
No, Senate stayed, Senate is done.
Yeah.
House
There's
is
no
Republican.
sense,
No,
If she calls a special election. But it wouldn't necessarily, because you're right, really, in fact, that's kind of, well, where I'm going with this is, could maybe public schools add on to that, but
yes.
Rivette's district wouldn't have.
Doesn't cover all of Midland Public Schools, but Midland Public Schools would have an advantage if they went with one of the day, well, they're saying, I just read the paper, they're saying May, they wanna go in May. $247 million.
Is that the one they're going with?
No, that's not the one.
Average.
Was that Plan A or B?
That was
That's-
Plan B. I'm not sure what Plan A was, I didn't read the whole article.
Yeah.
Plan A's 274 million with add-ons, they're gonna make it probably close to 302 million,
Yeah.
maybe about 3.5
You're
million.
talking like, I think I looked at one number, it looked like it was over almost like $350 a year per household. Substantial amount of bucks. It'll be interesting. Midland County doesn't typically turn down,
No, I mean, this is gonna be an interesting one.
they don't typically turn down villages, but I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
What's the purpose?
Oh, they're gonna create all these new schools. They're gonna combine schools, I think they're gonna combine, I don't know, you probably know more, Renita,
I've
about it.
sat
I
through
mean,
the
you go to the
meetings.
meetings, but, so, and they're gonna combine the two high schools, right? Isn't that one of them?
That's Plan B. Plan A, they keep the high schools, they add one more elementary, and they rebuild Northeast.
Right, yeah.
And then Plan B was to combine the two high schools and create a new campus and,
But they're gonna put forward the one without combining, is that correct?
that's the one that they kinda told us last night at the meeting, it was a 3-hour meeting, and they sat there and explained that, well, the public wants Plan A, but we think Plan B's better, but we'll give you what you want, and we'll be back in 5 years and ask for more money. So, they're just basically saying, we're still gonna eventually end up with Plan B, you're just gonna pay more to do it in 2 steps.
We should have Plan C.
Well,
That's not a joke.
You know, literally,
Yeah.
I mean, literally, back in 2000 and, I don't know, 2002, 2003, something like that, I actually sat on a committee, so they pulled in all these people from the community. And we all got divided up into different areas, and it was prior to the STEM and all that kind of stuff, and we actually came up with different ideas, based on where we thought our population was gonna be. And, I mean, what came out of that basically was STEM, and was that they were gonna end up combining the two high schools at some point in time, because the population, I mean, you know, we could see that the population was not growing at a rate that would justify having two high schools. But then nothing ever got done.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of years ago.
And now the population has continued to drop, and now we've kind of, they say we are flatlined,
Yeah,
but, yeah. I don't know, because we're now having to accommodate pre-K, so they're trying to build school classrooms for 3 and 4-year-olds. And so that we're actually, I'm kinda confused, I thought we were K-12, but apparently the state has now decided, no, you need preschools in all of your elementaries. So we'll have 3-year-olds in there with up to 5th and 6th graders, so, or 4th and 5th graders, so it's like, I don't know what our tax dollars are going for, cause all of a sudden we're being forced to add stuff that wasn't K-12. So,
Yeah, like I said, I haven't followed it, I was just hearing rumors about, John, you might wanna make copies for, people, in the public, if you would. Yeah, get us 4 more copies. I haven't really followed it, I just had heard, because originally I heard the school was gonna try and go in February, and I'm like, I hate the February elections for villages, because I don't think it's right, because you have, your snowbirds are gone, right? And so, but then I just read that it's gonna be May, so I don't know.
yep.
But it's still a lot of money.
yeah.
They count on low voter turnout and lots of absentee, and that most of the absentee are your seniors, and they still believe that you always give money to the school no matter what. And since 78% of our last election for the millage renewal was in May,
Yeah.
only 17.5% of the people voted, and of that, 78% were absentee ballots.
Yeah,
So-
I mean. yeah,
So the
these are
public's
personal
not showing
opinions,
up.
You know, having the
Maybe
vote
some-
when it's
that's
the
where it stopped
smallest
last
vote
time.
total that you can,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
intentional.
oh, absolutely,
So-
absolutely, that's what I say, you know, it's not,
It's how to get the majority of the uninformed voters to vote for something.
yeah.
Try to tighten this thing up.
Is that what's happening every time you try to tighten it up, it doesn't?
I don't like the idea of combining the high schools though.
I originally was, you know, like I said, these are personal opinions, I was originally in favor of that. And then, without knowing lots of details, you know, and then I started looking at it and talking to more people, and we would be either like 7th or 8th largest in the state of Michigan. And I'm not sure that that's what we need, you know, just, you know, you wanna hang your hat on being the, you know, and then, you know, I come from, a family that had athletics in my kids played sports, and my youngest played sports, and my wife coached, and, you know, I mean,
Because it won't shut.
you go to one high school and you're
The
eliminating
door doesn't shut if you don't take a
the
little
amount
bit
of
of
people that are gonna be able to participate.
By half, basically.
Yeah, right, right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my daughter now is the athletic director up in Blackland, and, you know, she can tell you names, you know, I mean, as far, of kids that if they weren't in sports, they wouldn't be in school. You know, and they only, you know, really survive because of sports and because of having that camaraderie and, you know, that type of thing, and, you know, you would lose, you know, and I think even, you know, as
Hang on, hang on.
educated as we
I
are
gotta
here,
have John, because I
you're
don't
still gonna
change
lose
the
kids
paper on these things.
that if they can't participate in sports, you know, they lose their focus, in my opinion, you know, and you're gonna have, so I don't, you know, so I've changed my tune on the one high school, you know.
A lot of parents spoke out about that one of the first meetings that I went to. They didn't like that at all for their children.
Yeah.
The other thing too, I mean, by the time my kids got out of school, they were still having sponsored athletics, so now people have to pay
Job security? Exactly.
to play, and all this money they're raising, why don't they fund the
Yeah.
extracurriculars?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Yeah. And you know, when I've heard some talk, you know, about, well, you can do interweekends. Well, yeah,
Okay.
and I played,
I just
I was
didn't
not
wanna
an
do
athlete,
it
but I
something
played in
like
the
that.
weekends, you know, in high school and in junior high.
started to
That's fun,
drop the hammer.
but your vast majority are not going to,
Got it.
you know, that's not going to fill the
I
gap
just didn't want to
of
stop.
growing sport.
If you don't like.
Yeah, exactly. Right, right.
It's fun, but it's.
Yeah, right, right.
I don't try to bother you, you know, everyone knows that you're doing that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's 14 votes difference between the two, reports, so that's good.
Perfect. We're doing something good.
It's 14 votes difference from the report from Thursday.
Yep.
Cool. At least, you know,
So that's,
something adds up.
Last time was 71.65 and now we're 71.66.
it was 71.64. We went up two 100.
2 100ths
Yeah.
of a point.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they did not make a final decision last night.
No, next Monday's when they're supposed to bring back the rest of the stuff, and their final vote will be at the December 16th meeting,
Okay,
as to whether they're gonna do it on the May election or not.
and what the actual proposal will be.
Right,
Yeah.
because they brought up a field house last night too, which wasn't even on the table, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, we have the $16.2 million field house we're looking at doing too, so why don't we research that too, to consider adding it to package A, so, yeah.
So with what they've talked about, and last night, it obviously, are they going to do the add-ons as part of this?
Parts of them.
Parts.
I think that's why the public was frustrated, because it looked like we get A, B, or B plus, as opposed to a combination of A or B with any of these.
Yeah,
And so then people felt compelled to go, well, B's like handing me a car with no accessories, so if I want B, I really have to take B plus. Well, then it was $375,000 or whatever. And so that's why they were like, well, then we'd rather go
So
this
here's the
route, we just
final,
take A.
final,
So-
with all the added.
But yeah,
stuff.
there's
This
still,
information will
I think
also
they
be up on
eliminated the pool in
website.
the auditorium.
It's just, it's
but
probably
they
not there
do
yet,
something different for the auditorium.
but
Okay.
it'll be up on the
But they
website
eliminated the
before
pool.
too long.
Thank you very much.
That, because they're gonna do that as a community,
okay,
because there's just too much cost and overhead with maintaining
Yeah.
a pool.
yeah. Well, I happened to be with, you know, Penny Miller or Nelson at one time, and it's like, I come from a swimming family, my brother and dad were both, my dad was an Olympic swimmer 70 years ago. But, you know, why do you need a 12 lane?
Well, we have,
And it was like, and the, you know,
Bumpkin.
and it was like, I think swimming is a great sport, I'm all for, but why do you have to,
Midland,
you know?
Mill,
Because they were trying to be
Porter, Warren.
the biggest.
Right.
Same with the stadium, we need to be flashy, and
It's gonna be a dome.
it's like, how much money do we have, and
But
how
John's
much,
got some stuff
because we're
together.
still paying on the 2.95 mils from the previous bond.
Mm-hmm,
It's still got 10 more years to go, so we're really stacking bonds, so now we're at 6.2 mil.
right,
And then they wanna potentially come back and stack another one, another 5 or 6 years, so it's like, they're going, oh, well, we're only in the top 15 in the state for mills, but if we add this one, now we're all of a sudden in the top 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And if we bump just a little more, we're gonna be in the top 3 or 4 in the whole state, so, yeah.
Well, I hope they don't put the two together. The special election for the Senate and the bond proposal.
No, Dennis, I'm not having 3 elections next year, dude, I'm having 2. So yeah, they're gonna go on one of those elections, they're gonna go on the primary or the general. 25 should be an off election year, we shouldn't be having elections in 25.
yeah, how much is in your budget?
No, I didn't budget for statewide election.
Right,
I did
right.
not, so Tiffany's already
I'm
mad at
thinking
me.
about a different angle probably.
Yeah.
Well, it's tough, so, if your guy doesn't get elected, too bad, how sad, I'm, cry me a river. He still has a seat, he's still be in the House.
Well,
And that,
you and I are gonna
just,
respectfully
you know,
disagree on
we're
this.
just talking.
You're gonna disagree that he'll still be in the house?
If,
No.
Why would you
He wants me
disagree?
to win.
I'm
if
not
he
sure.
would
Oh.
happen to decide
You're not
to
letting
run,
me say
and
anything.
if he would win, now you've got an open seat for a state rep thing, so you could have another election.
No, because
It would be far enough along.
it'd be far enough along,
Okay.
because state rep runs in 26.
Yeah.
So that they would not have enough time to
Okay,
call a
so it's
special
far-
election for
okay,
that
good,
seat.
Good.
Yeah, no, gosh, no.
I'm thinking of strategically speaking.
I know, Dennis, that's all you ever think is strategically.
Yeah.
I've been down that road with you, I got you, buddy.
You got to step back and say, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I should, really.
You should, yeah.
You keep saying that, you won't. You'll be in your
It's hard to-
coffin still holding
It's
up
hard to teach an old
get
dog
political
new tricks.
signs. We're gonna
I tried,
bury
I
you,
tried,
we're
I
gonna
tried this
bury you
time.
with some
I tried
political
this time,
signs.
I tried this time, I really did.
We're gonna make a cast before political signs.
Right, we're gonna use all the wires, sign wires.
Yeah.
Now, because the benefit to the school, Dennis, would far outweigh, a political benefit. That, I mean, the school's going to take advantage of being able to have some of their costs reduced,
Yeah.
than they would if, and quite frankly, I'm not gonna let them do it, because I have that right to tell the school when they cannot have their thing,
Well,
so.
from a strategic perspective, the election will be indicative of who's going to control the Senate, possibly, and billions of dollars, taxpayer dollars. We're talking 350 million. That's chump change compared to that Senate race. And who wins it? So,
People better get out there and start campaigning right now. Get on it.
possibly, I don't know, I haven't really thought about it. 'Cause
We
I-
should know probably, I would think,
I'm
Dennis,
not
we should
saying
know,
that it
we
is.
should know probably in, mid-December when the governor's gonna call the special
The
election.
governor's gonna do it
So,
based on strategic issues, not for school bond issues.
no, I understand that, but strategically, and also to get the seat filled, I don't think she's gonna wait till August to run a
I
primary.
hope not, I hope not.
I would think that she would, get it done sooner rather than later, but you have to understand, she can call it whenever she wants.
She can, and I know
She
that.
doesn't have to call it on a regular,
I know that.
regular scheduled, May, August, November. She can call them whenever she wants.
So, and then you develop your strategy around whatever the guideline that is. And,
Would that be, I think, there's no other person that was elected to another office that has to resign from the state house.
well, it happens.
No, I mean, because of this election.
Not in our district.
Well, I just need to know where she could say, okay, I'm gonna have all of them in the state, February and May.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if there were
think so.
other people, cause,
Yeah, I don't think so, because of Tom Barrett, he won, but neither part, Curtis Hotel was already determined whether Delaware was not serving. So I don't think there is. I think this is the only.
yeah.
She has an interest in having a friendly Senate.
Well, she's
For her,
losing.
for her agenda,
Right, she's
going
losing a
into
vote.
her presidential race.
Yeah,
She's going to be keenly interested in doing the strategic thing that's going to make sure that she maintains that Senate seat. Not gonna have anything to do with Midland School Board.
Oh,
No,
you're not listening.
That's not what I'm saying.
Listen.
Midland Public Schools has a benefit to going when she calls a special election. So even if it's not May, Midland Public Schools would benefit from going whenever that special is called. Because they would share the cost, they would only pay for the precincts and jurisdictions that are not in that Senate district. So, that's how it works. I know.
That the 17% that show up to vote on the bond proposal are all Democrats.
Right.
That's what he's worried about.
That is correct. That's
can't stop it, baby, it's coming, that train's coming.
Well, it may, yeah, on the flip side is, that race could generate,
You were doing so good, Dave.
that race could generate from 17% to 25%.
Sure.
And the bond would go down. So they have to analyze that also. And that has to do with how much that's gonna cost, and how much money you raise, and how you market it.
They would rather pay the taxpayers money to
Yeah.
run a special election. Cost them over $130,000 the last election to run a special election. And they didn't tell the public, but they ate the cost on it. So the public never knew they actually paid for that instead of doing it free in August. So,
And it will be based on, and I haven't done the analysis on it, but what is the makeup of that Senate district? And where might an interesting primary come from? Will it be Midland? Will it be Bay? Will it be Saginaw? Will there be a candidate from all three in a Republican primary? Let's just say. That could really gin up the turnout and take it out of the, above the interest in the bond proposal. There are a lot of different variables here on that. The school board might wanna not have it, anything to do with being on the ballot with the Republican primary.
They've got a better chance of winning if they're all by themselves, right?
Exactly.
Well, yes, because then the school only has to worry about getting out their yes voters.
Right.
They don't have to worry about getting out the people who are gonna vote for the Senate race.
And so, there's a lot of variables we don't know that are gonna interplay here. And it's not just, the governor definitely has the power to set it, but she's looking at what's best for her, and that is to maintain control of the Senate.
Even if the Democrat
Yep.
wins the general election, if
Where
there's
are we
no Democratic.
take one more
primary,
take.
Right, let's say there's one
Well, there might be a
candidate,
Democrat
there's no
primary.
Democratic primary to do the bond proposal at the same time, it's gonna be all the Republicans show up, because they're in the front, they've got a contested primary.
Well, why would
They
a
vote down on
There's
it,
gonna
they
be a
vote-
Democrat running for the Senate. Is
What's
it gonna
that?
be from Midland? Is it gonna be from Saginaw? Is it gonna be from Bay? Is it gonna be?
Right. Right, but if there's a contested Republican primary for the Senate seat.
They would both be the same, the primary would be the same day.
No, I get it, but the turnout's gonna be different. If there's a Republican primary and there's not.
Well, absolutely, yeah.
That's,
And
that's
if there's
the
a
issue.
Republican and Democratic primary, the turnout's gonna be high.
Yes,
Yeah.
but if you have just a Republican primary and no Democratic primary, then you run the risk that people that show up to vote for the Republican primary will vote no on the bond.
Right.
What do we have? There's not enough, we don't know enough to make an educated,
You don't know the
Advice.
date yet. And you don't know who's gonna get in the race.
Yeah,
We know one person who's gonna get in the race, but we don't know them all.
maybe I'll throw maybe.
But maybe,
If I do,
but, you know, maybe if he just gets
if
on
I
his
do,
checkbook, he can keep
you
the other
can-
Republicans out of the race.
No,
Yes,
that's been a lot chance.
Yeah,
Bring it
I'll
up.
break my leg.
Yeah.
Do something.
Rebecc's seat.
What the?
Yeah.
For Rebecc's seat, because Rebecca won Congress, and we have to have a special election for her seat next year. Which means we have to have the early voting site open. Printed completed.
Yay!
Yay, good job, Dave.
We have to sign off.
That sounds, that sounds to be like.
Yeah, but here's the
So
problem.
it's sort of like.
It's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. The totals are in this first.
He looked.
Well, there's no totals on this last page.
We've got it electronically, right?
Right, but you have to verify the tape, right? Oh, no, we did.
Yeah, I don't remember rerolling the tape.
Yep, both stats work too.
Oh.
Okay, so, let me go see if John's got the state canvas, ready to go, and then we'll review our numbers, and then we'll be done. the public has copies.
You did such a good job last time.
All right.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna read to y'all, and you're gonna tell me if I'm right or not. So we're gonna start with Camilla, 20,926 votes.
Correct,
Trump, 28,571.
correct,
Chase Oliver, 252.
yes,
Randall Terry, 81.
yes,
Jill Stein, 169.
yes,
Robert Kennedy, 247.
yes,
Joseph Keyshore, 24.
yes,
Cordell West, 17.
yes.
We have to put in the write-ins. I know that Claudia De La Cruz had write-ins, and Peter, Snosky has write-ins.
I don't generate that, there's no, oh, the right, you're
You've
right.
gotta get the
Yeah.
write-ins.
Right.
Okay, so
You can check
total number of, votes was 50,287.
Mhm.
Then we're gonna go to US Senator, United States Senator. Slotkin, 20,666.
Correct,
Mike Rogers, 27,605.
correct,
Joseph Solis, 538.
yes,
Dave Stein, 367.
yes,
Douglas Marsh, 271.
yes,
Doug Dern, 154.
yes.
Okay. Now we're to the second district representative in Congress. Michael Lynch, 1396.
Yes,
John Molinar, 3919.
yes,
Ben Jejong, 85.
yes,
Scott Adams, 67.
yes,
Kristen, then we're gonna go to the 8th district, in Congress. Kristen Rivette, 19,936.
yes,
Paul Young, 22,453.
yes,
Steve Barcelo, 559.
yes,
James Little, 203.
yes,
Jim Casha, 155.
yes,
Kathy Goodwin, 625.
yes.
Can I
On to
ask
the
a
90
question?
Yes, ma'am.
What are you reading off of and what is he reading off?
So this is what we have to turn into the state. This is the state canvas.
Okay,
They only wanna know president and, the top of the ticket. And they're reading off the final cume that you have that I handed out to you.
right,
Yep,
and you're reading off of,
The state, this is what we have to submit to the state. So we
Okay.
actually have to take the numbers off the cumulative, put them into the system and
Okay.
upload them to the state of Michigan, so that then when the state does their canvas, this is what they use.
okay.
Okay?
and it's just the summary form that you're looking
Yep.
at.
Thank you.
Yep,
Now we're on to the 95th district. We have Sabrina Lopez, 17,951.
yes,
Bill G, 30,934.
yes,
Then we go to our state boards of education. Theodore Jones, 17,628.
yes,
Adam Zemke, 16,784.
yes,
Tom McMillan, 25,460.
yes,
Nikki Snyder, 25,699.
yes,
Scotty Bowman, 1545.
yes,
Ted Gerard, 511.
yes,
Christine Schwartz, 774.
yes,
Marianne Herring, 1871.
yes,
Next is Regent of the University of Michigan. The reason why we're doing this, because we hand typed this, I'm sorry, I should have been,
Okay.
I should have explained that better. We hand typed this into
Gotcha.
the computer, okay? So we're just making sure that we didn't make an error input.
Okay, thank you.
And then we also have to send the state a full set of our reports from election night, so that they can verify that we didn't make a mistake. Let's see, Regents of the University of Michigan, Denise Illich, 18,124.
yes,
Shauna Diggs, 16,940.
yes,
Carl Myers, 26,542.
yes,
Sivan, whatever, 23,197.
yes,
Andrew Chatterton, 1558.
yes,
Donna Oatman, 1388.
yes,
Then we go to, Michigan State, trustee Michigan State University, Rebecca Cook, 17,813.
yes,
Thomas Stallworth, 16,186.
yes,
Mike Below, 25,343.
Yes.
Julie Mayday, 24,860.
Yes.
Grant Baker, 1290.
Yes.
Jeanette Sanger, 886.
Yes.
Paul Sanger, 678.
Yes.
John LaPetra, 612.
Yes.
Next we go to Governor of Wayne State, Rashad Damish, whatever, 16,294.
Yes.
Mark Gaffney, 16,827.
Yes.
Michael Basuto, 24,780.
Yes.
Sunny Reddy, 24,168.
Yes.
Farad, 944.
Yes.
William Moore, 688.
Yes.
Sammy Mulkel, 454.
Yes.
Suzanne Rowing, 1526.
Yes.
And Kathleen Oakford, 582.
Yes.
Next, we go to Justice of the Supreme Court.
Let me catch up to you here.
No, you're fine.
Looks like page 32.
So we got Andrew Fink, 16,216.
Yes.
Kimberly Thomas, 20,747.
Yes.
Justice of the Supreme Court, partial term, Kyra Bolden, 21,127.
Yes.
Patrick O'Grady, 16,260.
Yes.
Next we go to Court of Appeals, Stephen Borello, 27,886.
Yes.
Court of Appeals, partial term, Ally McDonald, I don't know, 27,502.
Yes.
42nd Circuit Court, Steve Karras, 29,018.
Yes.
Probate Court, Angela Cole, 28,614.
Yes.
All right, so let us, fix those couple write-ins and then we'll sign this and we'll be all done. Cause I know we had write-ins.
We got ready for the president.
There was 2 write-ins for the president and there was 1 for Regent of the University of Michigan, this Hawad, yes.
Yeah, got it.
So go ahead and sign that last page and then I'll have John fix these and then I'll be right back.
as it nearly as close as it. Yeah.
Belly up trying to sell that. And so you look at McCall, and I think without that, you probably wouldn't have made it. He must have been
Okay. So I'm just gonna manually correct it on here because once John hit submit button, he can't go back and unsubmit it, so.
Okay.
I'm just gonna make these changes with the write-ins. So we have Peter Sinoski had 8 write-in votes for President of the United States.
Yep.
And then we had Claudia Dela Cruz had 5 write-ins. And then for the State Board of Regents.
Yes.
For U of M.
I'm trying to find what I just did.
Yeah, it was U of M.
Was it U of M?
Yeah, page, I don't know what page it is for you, page 10.
Oh, it's right here sitting in front of me, that's the problem. So Hawada, Araf had 7 votes. And then we had, it was Jay Bowman, Johnny.
President.
He was for president too?
JJ Bowman.
JJ Bowman was for president, and he had 1 write-in vote. So I've just made the physical corrections on here. John emailed the Bureau, you can look at his email here, asking them to please make those changes so that you all can see that we have requested that to be done. And then I just handwrote the changes. And then what they'll do is they'll actually just make the change in the computer system because they can unlock it.
Yep.
We
John can't?
No.
You get one shot. I wasn't prepared.
You got.
I actually thought.
You get one shot, push the button.
It's just like Eminem told you, man, you just got one shot.
Yeah, and the
So
writing.
just so you can see, John has emailed them and asked them to make the changes. And then you'll see where I've went in and physically made the changes on our copies, okay? And then the Board of Canvassers will go, or the state will go in and make the changes on this document.
That isn't just for the votes from today, is it?
No, there's from when we canvassed on Thursday, all the write-in votes. Remember all the write-ins that we did?
We went up in here already.
Because this, we have to manually, that's why we check this, that's why I read the numbers to you and you guys verify, because we have to manually enter this data into the state's website.
Can't do it ahead of time.
You can't do it ahead of time, you can't go, you have to go into the qualified voter file is where this form is located, and you literally have to hand type in all the results for those races. So it's, the state canvas is what it's called.
So with that,
With that, we are
we have officially canvassed the
complete.
results from the Midland County election of November 5th. And we would entertain a motion to approve the canvass.
The Republican can't ask for a Republican. Okay, fine.
Thank you, Dave. Dave Roush has made the motion to accept the canvass. Is there support? Dennis Sterner is supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Being none, it passes 4-0. The canvass for Midland County has been certified. With that,
You get to be a rock star.
yeah, we are done for this election. Again, I will say as chairman, and I speak strictly for myself, it is so nice to have members of the audience here. You know, Steve and I, and Dennis and Dave have not been on quite as long as Steve and I have, but you know, we never used to, you know, and I mean, it was, you know.
Oh, you forgot to ask for public comment.
Well, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I was doing mine first. I got it out here.
Yep.
Yeah,
Got the microphone.
yeah, I got the microphone first, sorry. No, but it is so nice to have you here. I wish there was more, quite honestly, but it is nice to see that someone, I've always thought, and again, these are my personal opinion, you know, that this is some of the more important parts of the election. And I also, you know, they may hate me at times for saying it too. I wish people would go to when they have the testing, you know, and I don't know, you know, what, but again, that's so important to make sure that you see, you know, how many ballots are put through and, you know, the numbers come out correct and that type of thing, so too. So, you know, I think we have a pretty good system, you know, and it works out pretty good, and obviously things happen in some counties and that type of thing, but I do think we have a pretty good system. So, with that, does the audience have anything that they would like to add to us as far as the public comment? So please,
Yeah. One of the things I wanted to say, learning how the write-in process works this time, I was kind of disappointed to find out that you can't present actual data at the precinct level for write-in candidates because of the way early voting's assessed. Because technically, if it's not a valid write-in, it should count as an undervote, but there's no way to separate that because of the way early voting's calculated. And so, yes, I know my total votes that I got, but I can't look at which precincts I got them from because early voting didn't separate them and report them. I noticed the city does, and I noticed Larkin's did, but early voting didn't.
Because they actually run their AV counting board by precinct.
Right.
So they're able to separate that out, where early voting, anyone from the township can use tabulator A, anyone from the city can use tabulator B. So there's no way for that
Having gone to the recount though, they combined all of those instead of separating them into the separate bins, so they could have had them separated, and then they would have just had 10 stacks over here and X stacks over here. I'm just saying it could be done, because it was only 61 ballots, so it's not like it was. But I also thought on a recount, would you not have to go through and separate all of those ballots?
Yes, on a
Okay.
recount.
So that was one thing I thought of too, because they aren't separated by precincts. It would be going through 10,000 or 5,000 and 5,000 or whatever.
Yeah, we don't separate them at the end of the night though, when we take them out of the bin.
But-
We just all put
But
it
that
in.
was just one thing, because I know when I printed off the precinct level reporting, it has high numbers for all these write-ins that aren't valid.
Right.
Which they should technically all be reported as undervotes if they weren't valid write-ins. And so there's like no way to
There's no way to
report
do
that.
that though. The system doesn't allow for that to happen.
So,
That's the way the program works, so.
so it's been interesting just to learn and understand how data flows through the whole system. And quite a few of us have gone to the public logic and accuracy several times now,
Good,
so
good, yeah.
we're familiar with that.
Excellent.
But anyways,
Excellent. Thank
that's
you.
just my 2 cents on
Yeah,
that
no,
Thank you.
process.
Anyone? Yeah.
I would also say that, I wish more of the public would come and observe as well, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. And my first time working on the election was the presidential election in 2008. And I can remember specifically being at the library and getting instructions for poll workers and just really being impressed with how it struck me that it was kind of foolproof. And then seeing it working at the polls and seeing how, you know, if somebody at the polls has a question, a Democrat and a Republican has to step in the booth with them to answer the question. There has to be one of each person in a car to drive the ballot. So to actually witness all of that helps you to understand they are fair elections. I don't know how to get the word out, that I don't think, I mean, until I joined the League of Women Voters and became on the board, did I know I could even observe this. So I think if the public knew how involved they could be, even just as observers, it would go a long way to squelching a lot of the rumors about.
We try.
Yeah,
We try.
I know.
I mean, I try to get people to be involved and
I
to
know.
volunteer. but
Even,
it
I mean,
just-
like you were talking about the special election, whether it's in March or May, it's just amazing that people will not come out to cast a vote. And it's so easy for them now to do it. It's
Right.
just,
Yes, because we will have to have early voting open for the Senate election.
and even things like, I serve on the Parks and Recreation Commission, and in general, the public doesn't get involved until the decision has been made, and then you're gonna hear from all of them if it affects them personally, or on occasion, they will speak out if it affects them personally, but I know city council has they're pulling teeth to try and get people to actively engage in decisions that might affect the public while it's happening, and, I don't know how, they try also to get the word out as well, and it's, you kinda have to hit people upside the head with a 2x4, and only when it affects them directly will people get involved, but I appreciate all that you're all doing, and, I just personally spread the word, what I see, and we all do the best we can.
We appreciate
Could I get your first and last name?
Nancy Carney, C-A-R-N-E-Y.
So what was that again?
C-A-R-N-E-Y.
Nancy.
And
Yes, I still have some concerns, and I've expressed them before, and they're more at the state level, and there's some evidence that came through, to light yesterday on the Slotkin and, Rogers race, where there was a batch that got recorded at a negative value. So theoretically, you don't ever regress your counts. That happened on November 6th for Rogers and Slotkin at some point. And I don't know how to answer that question. Why would you have a batch that reversed numbers? So my concerns are on the electronic side, not necessarily the process in Midland County, and I appreciate everybody's work, and also with the voter rolls. So having successfully turned in some deceased voters from Midland County, and that work will be continuing with the team, and I appreciate the response from your office, I really do, and I hope to get more response from the city. But the voter rolls, they're overinflated. I mean, some of the people I turned in were 2 decades old, you know, not that they voted, but they're still on there, and I'd like to help. It's a volunteer position, I don't get paid, I still work, I still look at this stuff, and just a cautionary tale, I would keep a close eye on what the state's doing with that Edison data that's been reported. And John, if you've got an answer on why that can be, or how that can be, I would love to hear it. But again, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else, sir?
I'm good.
Yeah, just finishing up in that, you know, I throw it back at all of you here, and us, sir. Keep talking, you know, and whether, you know, and getting people involved, and getting people that they know when the various things are, you know, like this, the accuracy test, there has to be an ad in the paper, you know, and that type of thing, you know. I mean, unfortunately, papers aren't read as much as they were, you know, 15 years ago. So, yeah, keep working.